Barcelona doesn't want you. Tourists go home. We've all heard it by now. Locals are literally chasing tourists away, even shooting them with water guns. But Spain has some of the best weather, especially when the rest of Europe is freezing, with over 85 million international travellers visiting Spain each year and over 50% flocking to Barcelona. It's no wonder they're overwhelmed. So now, it's time to discover the hidden gems of Spain, where less than 1% of travellers ever go.
Since we last left you in San Sebastian, we made our way past Bilbao and landed in Santander. We roll into town, park the camper van, and dust off our bikes, feeling like seasoned pros after 5 weeks of traveling and riding. Full of confidence, we are ready to take on the city. But little did we know,
All uphill.
Santander's hills are no joke. And then, thankfully, Santander pulls out its secret weapon.
There is an escalator. Yeah.
Yes, actual escalators in the street. It's like the city looked at us, struggling to breathe, and thought, oh, you poor naive souls, let us help you.
Well, you really need to trust your brakes.
After that life-altering ride that left us questioning every decision we've ever made, and seriously considering buying mopeds, we retreat to the van to rethink our strategy.
We've decided we're just going to take the bikes back and then figure out the best form of action to get around the city.
After checking the map, we realize we've accidentally entered an area called San Francisco. Coincidence? We think not. So after studying the map, we find a flatter route that should take us straight to the beach, and thankfully, it actually does. Arriving at the beach, we're greeted by the unmistakable Spanish vibe. The beach is packed with people surfing, playing beach soccer, and volleyball. We stroll along the boardwalk for a bit, but after the bike ride, we decide it's time for proper refuel. Excited for some local delicious food, we walk into the first cafe we see, and oh boy, what a choice this was. A sad choice. But it filled our bellies, so we soldiered on, ready to take on more of Santander before we had to head off to our next stop. If you think the beaches are beautiful here in Santander, just wait to see what's in store for us. We wander a bit more before reaching the Palacio de la Magdalena.
Here behind me is the Palacio de la Magdalena. It used to be the summer residence for the royal family from 1913 for almost 2 decades. Then in 1995 it was restored and now it's open to visitors, and it's one of the most distinguished event venues in Spain.
The grounds are lush and full of walking trails, and there's even an exhibit featuring seals and penguins. The penguins? Absolutely cooler than we'll ever be. It's not just the tuxedos, but their smug looks saying, yeah, I'm perfect. The seals though, those guys are the real VIPs. They're lounging around, looking like they own the place, on constant vacation. Honestly, we want their life.
He's so cute! So this little thing here was an experimental lifeboat that crossed all the way to here in Spain from Mexico across the Atlantic.
After soaking in all the adorable seal and penguin antics, we bid the palace farewell and head to the part of the city we missed earlier. As we stroll, we pass gorgeous Spanish-style homes that make it impossible to know which side of the road to look at. The stunning houses, or the breathtaking view they've got at the bay. The beaches here are a world away from the chaotic surf we saw earlier. Calm, clean, and perfect for families. The sand is pristine and the vibe is relaxed. Everyone's here to sunbathe and take it easy. It's the perfect escape. Once we arrive in the city center, we take a leisurely stroll along the harbor and through the streets, soaking it all in. But then, it's time for a cold beer and a sandwich. One that made up for our earlier breakfast disaster. It was at this point we realized we'd somehow walked 5 kilometers away from where we left the bikes, and in this blistering heat, there was no way we were trekking all that way back. So, like any seasoned adventurer, we hailed a bus, and a quick bus ride later, we were back at the bikes, feeling like champions for turning a 1-hour walk into a 5-minute bus ride, and all for €2.40.
Time to leave Santander, but first we need to do a fill and spill.
Will the hose reach? This is the question. Go Jesse, go! Go Jesse!
I think I can...
Shoot it? I don't know, I think I've got a better chance of doing it. I've got practice.
Yay!
Grey water is empty, water is almost full. We are ready to go!
Although we could have easily spent more time exploring Santander with so much more to see, it was time to move on. Northern Spain has so much to offer, and we were eager to discover what lay ahead. Little did we know the place where we'd be spending the night would exceed all of our expectations. But first, we have to get there. As we were cruising along, we couldn't help but notice all the stunning spots just off the freeway. Now, of course, we had to stop for fuel at some point, and that's when things got interesting. The gas station was a solid 10-minute detour off the highway, but honestly, we didn't mind one bit. It did, however, mean that Josie had to step out of her comfort zone. We ended up in this charming little town, and we had to grab some drone footage of us driving over the beautiful bridge. Oh, fun fact, this was Josie's first time behind the wheel. I really wish we could have filmed her driving, but hey, the drone footage will have to do for now. We have arrived at the spot for tonight. Josie is getting dinner ready. There is our van. Look at that. Seriously, unbelievable. So what you making for dinner, my love?
Noodle salad with chicken. A little bit of a fridge cleanup.
Happy to be eating?
What?
Happy to be eating?
Yeah. Oh god, I'm so hungry. I could eat this whole bowl by myself. You're lucky I'm sharing.
That's a huge bowl. And the San Miguel beer, because you have to have San Miguel when you are 5.5 kilometers from San Miguel. After dinner, we headed down to the beach to check out the laid-back beach bar and the perfect view of the sunset. The scene was incredible, one of the most beautiful beaches and sunsets we've ever experienced. Families were enjoying the sand, kids were playing, and dogs were running around, adding to the relaxed, lively atmosphere. It was a really special night, and we'll definitely be back. So a little trick that we've learned is that some places you're not allowed to put up chocks, which are levelers to level your van. So we got some rocks, we placed them under the tyres, and there's nothing illegal about putting a rock underneath. Smart.
I am
Swedes.
too pale for my own good. What the actual? Like, I'm actually red.
Hopefully it'll tan. Time for bed.
Good night.
It is a beautiful day. Decided we're going to drive for a few hours. We don't know exactly where to, but we need a campsite for the first time since we were in Amsterdam.
Which is 2 weeks ago.
We want to charge some batteries and have a shower and a toilet in the morning. All these little things that a campsite can offer to get going.
Before long, the skies began to shift. The blue we had enjoyed faded, and the clouds started to roll in. Then, the rain hit. It felt like we'd made a mistake leaving our previous spot. As we wound our way deeper into the mountains, the mist was so thick we couldn't even see the tops of the windmills. But, just as we neared our destination, the clouds parted and out came the blue skies, almost as if to say, welcome. So we've parked up the van here at a little campsite. Bill is taking advantage of having electricity and Wi-Fi, and I didn't just want to hang out in the van because the sun's back out again, so I'm gonna go to the beach. Beach is right there, so it's super close. If you're on the north coast of Spain, it's called the Atalaya camper park, and it's only 15 euros a night, including electricity, and I actually just had a shower for the first time in over a week, so that feels absolutely amazing. The beach is not where I thought it was. That's just like cliffs and rocks down there. Luckily, the beach was only 100 meters up. It's actually really, really pretty. The sand is almost white. Might not go for a swim because I'm basically all alone here, and if anything were to happen, so there's no one here to save. It's starting to cool down quite a bit now, and I can see some clouds coming in. I think it's time to head back to the van, start preparing dinner, see how Will's going. Back. How's it going? Beautiful. Very nice beach.
Very good.
Will spent the rest of the evening editing videos while we recharged all of our equipment, making sure we were ready for the big day ahead. Meanwhile, I cooked us a delicious dinner because, like our phones, we were running on 1% and needed a serious recharge. In the morning, we packed up the van and hit the road to a destination that's often overlooked. But why? Well, that's exactly what we're here to find out.
We have now arrived in Lugo, and these walls around the city are the only example in the world that preserve their entire perimeter from the Roman times, and it spans 2 kilometers around the entire historic center of Lugo.
Most people, when they travel through this region, actually skip Lugo, drawn instead to the allure of coastal destinations. Nestled inland, it's easy to wonder if we have made a mistake by venturing here. But perhaps that's exactly why we should be curious. Sometimes the hidden gems lie just off the beaten path. Only time will tell, so let's see what this charming city has in store for us.
Here behind me is the Santa Maria Cathedral. Now, there has been a church in the site since 755. However, this cathedral was constructed in the 12th century. Parts of it were destroyed in an earthquake in the 1700s, and that's why you can see different styles of architecture on the cathedral. This cathedral received the privilege from the Pope to permanently expose the Holy Sacrament.
Now, right behind the cathedral are the remains of a Roman bath dating back to the 4th century. Josie can always sniff out a spice market.
I love it. Got the goods. Nope.
The vibe is absolutely on point. The people are out everywhere enjoying the sun, sitting at cafes, restaurants, bars. There's music playing. There's just a really, really nice vibe to the city.
And they all feel like the people feel like they're locals.
We just stopped here on the square to have a beer. Pulled into the little bar restaurant and said, can we look at a menu? He says, no, we don't have a menu. Beer, soft drink, what do you want? 2 cervezas, $5.80, very cheap.
The wall of Lugo was built towards the end of the 3rd century to defend the Roman city known as Lucus Augusti. Its perimeter remains intact and is one of the finest examples of Roman fortification in Western Europe.
Views from up here, guys, are absolutely incredible. This wall spans 7,000 feet long, up to 30 feet high, and has 85 towers perimetering the wall. Is it worth coming here? In my opinion, if you're a photographer or something, absolutely, just to get the shots of the cathedral. If it's on your way, absolutely. If it's out of your way and you don't have a lot of time, probably not.
Well, I thought it was a really nice city, and I really like the walls wrapping around it and all the like old buildings. I thought it was super cool, but yeah, maybe not as the only destination. And down here is Arthur, next to Franklin's twin. And if you have followed us for a long time, you know that Franklin is our old van, so it's very nostalgic seeing the exact same van. And of course, we got our mandatory bottle opener. Now, if you've made it this far, don't forget to smash that like button. It tells YouTube that you enjoyed the video and helps get it out to more people who might enjoy it too. And if you don't want to miss out on the rest of our journey, make sure to subscribe. We might not see you again otherwise.